Chairman NSE, CEO NSE, Vice Chairman NSE, Dr. Gakonje, your fellow directors of Metropolitan Health Services, your staff, your officers, your employees of our new Nairobi Health Metropolitan, CEO Willie Joroge of CAZIB, officers present. Protocols observed. Good morning, and let me kick off by congratulations. For the first to use the word metropolitan in the context of where we are in Nairobi today, and the vision for using that particular terminology. Let me also say that I see all of you wearing masks, and it reminds me of why surgeons, doctor, wear masks. And the explanation is that if they make a mistake, you will not know who they were. We don't intend to make any mistakes at the Ibuka program, and I can guide you that our team is quite well versed with the capital markets protocols that are required, and that you will be taken through step by step through the incubation processes and the various milestones that you will be taken through. I already noticed that you will be working on a new articles of association. I think you already were implying that previously. And also let me congratulate you on your balance sheet. One of the good balance sheets that I have seen in a long time. I am impressed with your financials already, and I feel that there's a very strong case for you immediately to be put on what we might call the fast track. Fast track towards the accelerator board, and subsequently off the accelerator board into one of our product segments. Chairman, we need to look at the macro environment currently, and actually we have some good news. We do have some breaking news. The CEO of CAZIB recently in a webinar talked about where he sees innovation using fintech from 2021 onwards and in capital markets. We believe that innovation is really the key of where we should be, and how innovative we can be in capital markets to deliver on the services and capital that is required for our businesses that are coming to capital markets. Chairman, page 56 of the post-COVID-19 economic recovery strategy is a revelation. And I would like to just quote for you what this strategy actually says for capital markets and setting the environment for businesses that are planning to come in 2021, like Metropolitan here. The government has announced through the Treasury that they will be privatizing identified state-owned enterprises. They will support SMEs in capital raising through crowdfunding. They shall promote use of technology to ensure that trading of securities can be done through mobile phones. They are also keen to enable investors access IPOs through their mobile phones. And they are keen, of course, on facilitating investor participation in CIS through mobile phones. This in itself is a CAZIB agenda. And we are clear that going forward, that both initial public office and restricted private office can be delivered in lightning speed through a first-come, first-served approach to the retail public. And as a result of this, CAZIB would be hoping to work with the Nairobi Securities Exchange in order to ensure that this can be delivered going forward. This is what issuers have been asking for, and this is what we have learned as well in the Ibuka program around the matter of speed to market and reduction of costs. And therefore, we are being innovative in order to look at these particular initiatives. For Metropolitan, you are a candidate for raising equity. You are a candidate for raising bullet or balloon payment bonds. You are a candidate to also make acquisitions using your strong shareholder funds that you have accumulated over 25 years. Your future, we believe, with capital markets is bright. We are proud that you have chosen this roadmap via Ibuka because we can already see areas of development that we will assist you with so that you are fully ready to hit any of the products that we can offer you at the NSE. It also reminds me in closing why doctors are always calm. It's because they have a lot of patience. We reassure you at Ibuka program that although the reputation of investment bankers and stockbrokers is well known as regards speed and intentions to move quicker, we will also exercise that patience so that we understand you well, you understand us well, so that we work in collaboration to develop your business to the level it is required in order to meet the expectations of future investors in our capital markets. Congratulations once again to your team for having built a beautiful business, and may we see the benefits of that in 2021. Thank you.
The Chairman, Nairobi Stock Exchange, the CEO and the staff of the NSE, the Chairman, CEO and staff of CASIB. I want to start by saying that we are very, very grateful that we are here today. And it's an honor for us as an organization and a validation of the work that we've been doing over the last 25 years. As I start, I also wish to convey, I don't work alone. I have had a chairman, the only chairman Metropolitan has had since inception. He sent his apologies. He's a neurosurgeon, one of Kenya's leading urological surgeons. He was called to theater this morning and couldn't be here with us. I also bring the apologies of Dr. Nathan Thegana, a leading gynecologist, obstetrician gynecologist. And as all of you know, obstetricians, gynecologists operate on patients' time, because when they are called, they cannot afford to wait, because the outcome can be very bad for mother and baby. My other director should be here shortly, Mr. Joab Kamau, who is also Jeff's friend and former neighbor. He said he was on the way, and I believe he'll be here shortly. I also wish to introduce the team I came with. Merab at the back. That's Merab. Merab is in charge of administration. George Kabugi, who looks after the balance sheet. And Sarah, who is our Ibuka consultant. Sarah wears many flags. The most important for now is that she is our lead in this program, because we've appointed somebody specific to work with the team so that we do not fail to meet the milestones and objectives. And she'll be assisting us to do that. Today, the stock exchange still hires the interns, gives them a chance, because they are likely 25 years, 30 years, 10 years from now to be the people standing here, because they learned a skill that can be used to the company. Metropolitan during the HIV pandemic. We are joining Ibuka during the next big pandemic, which is COVID. And it's in moments like this that is born. Because during that time, Kenya was going through the HIV pandemic, patients were stigmatized, there was no vaccine, there were no ARVs, doctors were getting affected. I actually lost a very good friend, one of the founders of the hospital, who poked himself with a needle from a HIV positive patient. We are losing doctors again. But it's in moments like this that transformation begins, because the world, we have to respond to a new challenge and deal with it. The stock exchange would not be able to operate today if it was still analog. Metropolitan would have a hard time operating today if it was analog. We are the most digital hospital in this country. That I can say for sure in this country. Yeah. Our outpatient is completely paperless. Our back offices are completely paperless. We do not have checkbooks because we don't need them. We don't have petty cash because there is M-Pesa. We have embraced and utilized and leveraged technology to the point that wherever I am in the world, for all key events, I'm able to know what's going on, including who is being admitted to ICU now, because the systems there will send me an SMS and an email telling me the patient's condition and what's going on. So I don't have to be there to run things. But of course, there is a limit to how digital healthcare can get. It is hard to operate yet when the surgeon and the patient are not in the same room, but that too is going to come. And that is going to require capital. And that's where the stock exchange comes in. Because in the absence of capital, in the absence of resources, great ideas are worth nothing. It is access to resources that transforms wonderful and great ideas into organizations that become leaders in their space. So I want to say that we are very, very pleased to be here. We look forward to the next step. We look forward to lowering a barrier for investors, because one of the biggest challenges in setting up a hospital is the cost of infrastructure. It's extremely expensive to set up a healthcare facility. The transformation we are going through, the 3-year transformation we are going through right now, is costing $500 million shillings. Actually, 600 million shillings. That money is not easy to come by. But if an investor, if somebody who had an idea like I did, had a facility that they could go and operate, lease and operate, then it would have been much, much easier. And the space that Metropolitan Health Services is going into is a space of enabling others like myself to have, to lower the barrier and be in a position to start health facilities without requiring that amount of capital. Because then it'll be possible for many more people to translate their ideas into working organizations. But before I say it, I want to sort of separate 3 different entities, because even we get confused. Because 3 years ago, 25 years ago, we started a company which was all inclusive. It was real estate, it was buildings, land, and the hospital operations. In 2001, we separated the hospital. We created an operating company called Metropolitan Hospitals Limited. So I'm the CEO of that company. And that meant Metropolitan Health Services had to become something different, because we did not sell to the investors the land, we did not sell to them the buildings. We became partners in the hospital. So Metropolitan Health Services began to transform itself into a company that invests in healthcare infrastructure. So I'm the founder and the executive director of that company. It has a different management. The team that is here with me don't work for the hospital. The hospital has 300 employees. Clearly, an investment company does not need a lot of people to run it. So there are two different entities: the hospital, which is private, in which we have a stake with two other shareholders, and then there is health services, owned by the 500 shareholders, who require an outlet for to sell their shares. And we ended up with a third company, and the third company is an IT company. That too is transforming. It may come and join Ibuka one of these days, because along the way we realized we could not run a hospital manually. We couldn't afford to buy software, so we created a company that is in healthcare IT. It has 10 clients here and in Uganda. I am one of the directors. We are also creating a separate management for it, because I can't run too many entities directly and expect them to succeed. So that's how we are different from the hospital. We are still involved in it. It's our baby. We'll continue to nurture it, to build the infrastructure for it to use, but it's a separate legal entity. So we want to walk the rest of our journey with the stock exchange. We want our 500 shareholders like Joab to have a place where they can go and find a market, a fair price for their shares, find a market for their shares, and we want all the good things that come from a company that is listed on a stock exchange, not least of which is a validation that this is a well-run organization, because well-run organizations last a long time. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Our chief guests, Dr. Gakombe, the founder and executive director of Metropolitan Hospitals, and your colleagues. We're very happy to have you here. Mr. George Kabugi, head of finance at Metropolitan Hospital. Our chairman, Mr. Kiprono Kitoni, our vice chairman, Mr. Bob Karina. My colleagues from the NSC, Mr. Amish Gupta, vice chair of CASIB, and William Njoroge, the CEO, members of the media. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I think today is another very delightful day for us. Coming on the back of a week where we've had sort of a reverse listing of a reverse launch of one of our companies on the GEMS market, which happened on Monday. So today we're having another event, and that means today, this is actually the beginning of an acceleration of new issues coming to the market. And Dr. you've done us proud by bringing the first healthcare company onto the NSC. And so you've opened a new pathway for other healthcare companies to consider NSC as a real platform for them to list. I think the journey of Metropolitan is a rich history. Dr. Kombe and I, we have been friends for many years, and just having seen what Metropolitan has done, especially to the eastern side of Nairobi, providing a very, very good social need to the residents of Nairobi, has been great. For those who have not gone to Metropolitan of late, I encourage you to go there and see the amazing investment that Dr. and the founders of Metropolitan have done. And so I think it's a matter of time that this journey had to begin. Dr. Gakombe has a rich interest in the stock market, having worked in the stock market from 1991, while he was still a student of medicine. So he had a very good passion for the stock market, and I think it's no surprise that we're here today. I think, Chairman, as Dr. told us in the briefing, they already have shareholders who are currently shareholders of Metropolitan. They have got a register. So we're not bringing a company that will still have to go through heavy structuring. I think it's just to introduce them into the market. And I think Dr. will be telling us some of those. I think they have a great leadership, which again proves that, as Ami says, doctors are patients. The great leadership, they've been together for all this while. And so that is a very strong trait of a good organization. And Metropolitan has always had a very good governance structure. So we are not too worried about their ability to cope with the rigors of the market, especially once they are listed. Amish is a financial expert, and when he says you have a good balance sheet, I truly now believe you're ready to go. Otherwise, we would have to do a lot of work there. And so Ibuka is going to be a validation for you. I don't think we're going to take you through a training program because you're already very well versed with corporate governance. So as we're just coming to help you validate all aspects of your business and then see whether we can enroll you then into one of our platforms in the very near term. We're happy that you've taken the Ibuka direction because what this does, it sort of helps you improve on various aspects. It helps sort of introduce you into the market because one of the most important things of being introduced is to get proper coverage, especially from analysts. And so you'll start getting interactive with analysts and media. Today I can see very strong media is here. So they start asking you those sort of questions. But that's really how the journey begins and giving that comfort. So that's going to be one area. I'm happy that you've come to the market. You'll open yourself to a wider audience. We as NSE enjoy the audience of a global audience. 70% of our current trading is foreign, so that becomes a place of interest. Regionally, we are also a very strong market, so again, the coverage goes beyond Kenyan borders, and I encourage you to do that. Just speaking about how the state of the market, I want to say that despite the challenges we've had in COVID, the market has remained resilient. We have actually performed fairly well from a business perspective, though the general market has been sort of depressed, just like any other market. But what has been transformative for us is the ability for the infrastructure to be up and running almost 100% uptime. And that's because of the great investment we've done in technology. Today, all our trading members are trading from home. Our infrastructure is a highly automated infrastructure, so it doesn't need human intervention to start or close it. And so we've been able to manage or navigate the COVID environment pretty well. And that's the assurance we give our issuers, that you're coming into a very robust and very, very stable market. From a business perspective, we are seeing sort of a recovery in our turnovers. I think we closed November very well with a turnover of about 1.6 billion. We've opened December with another 700 million. And that just assures you that the market is, once we get out of the COVID period, we're going to see quite some very good normalcy at some point. So for investors, it's a great entry point, as we always say. I know they feel this is always a story, but that's a reality. Our market is a very, very attractive market in the whole of Africa continent. So Dr. Remind is to say, welcome to the NSC. We are very delighted you're here. Come and increase our listed companies in a very, very short while as you also grow and also tap into the capital that we have to expand and grow your business. So welcome, congratulations, and we look forward to a very great future. Thank you very much.
Dr. Kanyenje Gakombe, and I note that Amish sort of put the two names together quite creatively. Founder and Executive Director, Metropolitan Health Services. Mr. George Kabugi, Head of Finance. Directors and staff of Metropolitan Health Services Limited here present. Representatives of the Capital Markets Authority present. Representatives of CASIB, I can see that most of the leadership is here. Mr. Bob Karina, Vice Chairman of the NSC. Jeff Odundo, our CEO. Directors and staff of the NSC, members of the media, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. Let me at the outset, on behalf of the NSC, extend a very warm welcome to all of you here today. And it is a great pleasure for me to join you today as we mark a key milestone of Metropolitan Health Services as it joins the Ibuka program. Today is a remarkable day for Metropolitan Health Services as it seeks to leverage on the NSC's Ibuka program to support its key strategic objective. Today's admission marks the beginning of an enhanced growth and consequent access to the capital market services for your company. And I must say I read your story over the last 2 days, and it is quite an inspiring story. I'm greatly inspired by the growth of Metropolitan Health Services, founded on the commitment to offer quality health services, offer not just quality, but affordable health services. Its facility has grown from a 50-bed capacity hospital to becoming one of the best equipped medical facilities in the eastern part of our capital city, Nairobi. The growth journey of Metropolitan Health Services is one of resilience and a clear testament that the social entrepreneurship is key to supporting the social economic growth and development in our country. I also wish to commend you, Dr. for taking a certainly bold step during this unprecedented time when the country and the world at large is faced with the economic effects of COVID-19 pandemic. And I think actually your timing is pretty good because I'm sure that not just globally, not just regionally, but but all over the world, we shall see a higher spend on healthcare. So your timing is quite good. Ladies and gentlemen, following a comprehensive analysis of the challenges that affect companies' access to capital markets in Kenya, the NSC developed the Ibuka program. Ibuka is a premium incubation and acceleration program aimed at enhancing companies' growth and access to opportunities provided by capital markets. This program places special focus on supporting growth through well-structured processes that prepare companies to list or access various capital options offered in the market in line with their strategic objectives. When we commenced this program, we committed to offer companies services that will not only propel their growth and development, but also provide them with the competitive advantages to enable them thrive in challenging environments. The NSC's Ibuka program offers a host of benefits, including the following: visibility and brand exposure. This program will expose Metropolitan Health Services to both domestic and international investors. This exposure will play a critical role when you launch funding initiatives through the capital markets. The company will also enjoy considerable media and stakeholder visibility, both locally and internationally. And you know very well that I have some access to media, so you can always talk to me on the side. Expert consultancy and advisory. The Ibuka program enables companies to access expert advisory and consultancy services from a panel of experts called hosting introducers, advisors, and consultants. Metropolitan Health Services will access services in equity valuation, balance sheet restructuring, development of capital raising documentation, tax and auditing, as well as corporate governance. In terms of credibility, your admission to the NSC's Ibuka means admission to the largest securities exchange in Eastern Central Africa and one of the largest in Africa. We are a globally recognized market and a member of the MSCI Frontier Market Index. We are a member of regional and global associations such as the World Federation of Exchanges, Africa Securities Association, amongst others. As such, this offers your business credibility with both local and foreign investors, stakeholders, and investors. In terms of networking, this program offers knowledge and experience and technical proficiency through networking with other growth companies and experienced advisors in the program. Ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, as a market, we are making deliberate decisions and investments to ease access to capital markets for both domestic and regional companies. Ibuka is one of the key initiatives that is supporting this endeavor. Equally, we are working closely with both private and public enterprises to enhance access to services that enable companies list or access other services in the market. I wish to congratulate Metropolitan Health Services for making this bold step that will set them apart from their competition and put them on their next growth trajectory. I also wish to commend the board and management on achieving this milestone and look forward to more engagements with you during the course. I wish to commit NSC's full support to Metropolitan Health Services as it commences this journey. I look forward to working with your team to make Metropolitan a leading health service provider in the region. And like Mr. Odundo says, Daktari, we expect that you will be in Ibuka for a very short time. You know about the markets. You said to us you were in the NSC 1991. So we look forward to very soon ring the bell as you join the main markets. Thank you and God bless you.
The certificate for Nairobi Metropolitan Health Services joining the Accelerator Board. So maybe with a show of hands, we can hand this certificate over, Chairman, to Dr. Gakombe and Director Job. Karibu. So let's give them applause, please. I know we are few, but let's applaud them louder.